Hi everyone, it's Katie from Paradise Falls family. In this video we'll be going into a bit more detail on our day ashore on the island of Bermuda from our cruise on the Disney Dream in October 2023. We've covered the rest of our cruise in separate vlogs which you can find on our channel. Our day on Bermuda was the middle of our 3 full days aboard the ship. In the first half of the video I'll talk through how we spent our time on the island, but I'll also give a bit of an overview of the island for those of you who haven't visited yet and mention some of the other things you can do in Bermuda. And along the way I'll give some tips and information that will hopefully help you make the most of your day on this beautiful island. So to start off with some background, Bermuda is a British overseas territory in the Atlantic Ocean, sitting off the east coast of America and north of the Caribbean. It's a massive cruise and holiday destination, so there's lots to see and do when you're ashore. The island is kind of in the shape of the Nike tick, and to give you an idea of the size of the island, it takes around an hour to drive from the Royal Naval Dockyard, where we docked, to St George's at the other end of the island, so it's very easy to explore in just a day. For our day ashore, we decided to spend our time in the western half of the island, simply to stay closer to the port and reduce the amount of time we spent travelling. This area of the island is in a horseshoe shape, with the dockyard on the left-hand side and the capital Hamilton on the right-hand side. There's a regular ferry connecting the two that only takes around 20 minutes and costs $5 per adult and $2.75 per child. So our rough plan for the day was to jump straight on a ferry across to Hamilton. After some time exploring there, we planned to get the bus or a taxi back around to Horseshoe Bay, which sits about halfway between the dockyard and Hamilton, where we could relax and chill out on the beach for the rest of the day before jumping in a taxi back to the ship. Unfortunately, Disney shortened our ashore times, we think because of the weather in the area. So we only had from around 10 AM to 4 PM ashore in Bermuda. We always like to get on board in plenty of time to avoid a late rush, so allowing for this, it didn't give us as much time as we should have had. Therefore, we decided to simplify our plans and head straight to Horseshoe Bay for the day. Horseshoe Bay is consistently ranked as one of the best beaches in the world, and we had an amazing day here. It was really easy to get to. As soon as you got off the ship, there are loads of guides to help you get a taxi, which is around $35 each way. We hadn't brought much cash with us, but our driver was really friendly and helpful and stopped at a cash machine. He also gave us a little guide as he drove, pointing out things like Somerset Bridge and talking about life on the island. Bermuda is absolutely stunning, with crystal blue water, beaches and scenery, and it was a lovely introduction to the island. Horseshoe Bay sits on the south coast of the island, just off the main road, and there are regular buses that stop here. It's a bit of a walk down the hill from the bus stop to the beach, or you can get a taxi like us, which drops you right down at the bottom. There's then a taxi rank at the bottom waiting to take you back whenever you want, so you'll always be able to get back really easily. We were off the ship by around 10 AM and arrived at the beach for 10:45. We paid for 2 sun lounges and an umbrella, as well as a free Wi-Fi code which came with these. It wasn't cheap at $60, but well worth it, and we spent the next few hours relaxing and enjoying the beach. The beach, as you'd expect, is in a horseshoe shape, meaning it's quite a well-protected cove, and that was great for swimming. We had loads of fun playing in the waves and snorkeling and spotting so many fish. The beach was really busy as it's an incredibly popular spot, but it didn't bother us with only being here for a few hours. To one side of the beach is another little cove, which is even more protected, and it's great for little kids to paddle in. We had a quick look here but spent most of our time on the main beach. The sand is famously supposed to be pink. We thought if you looked hard enough it did have a little tinge of pink, but maybe the light wasn't great when we visited. In terms of food, there's a little cafe right on the beach, serving the usual burgers, chicken tenders, fries, etc. So we had this for lunch. It was a little pricey at $80 for the 4 of us, but it did the trick, and it was so convenient just to eat relaxing on our sun loungers. That price did also include a famous Bermuda rum swizzle cocktail though, which the island is famous for. It didn't disappoint, it was delicious. There are also changing rooms and restrooms right by the beach, so you have everything you need for a brilliant day. By around 2 p.m, we decided to make a move. We'd had a lovely few hours on the beach and wanted to head back again before the rush. The taxi was so easy and we got dropped off at the dockyard. This is a lovely area with shops, restaurants and bars, as well as other attractions like mini golf, water sports, and also you can swim with dolphins here. We had a little time to spare and were within walking distance of the ship at this point, so we took some time to shop for some souvenirs and take some pictures before walking back on board the ship at around 3 p.m. We had a brilliant day in Bermuda and really loved the island and the people that we met. It was just a shame it was shorter than we planned, so we couldn't fit in everything we would have liked to do. I think it'd be really nice to spend around a week here at some point, relaxing and enjoying the island properly. So with that, I'll move on to talking a little bit about Hamilton and what we'd originally planned to do if we had a couple more hours ashore. As I said, we'd originally planned to get the ferry from the dockyard across to Hamilton, the capital of Bermuda. The main street in Hamilton is Front Street, which looks to have loads of colourful buildings, shops and restaurants. Then you've got the Queen Elizabeth Park, Fort Hamilton and the Bermuda Underwater Exploration Institute, which is where we'd planned to visit. Of course, Bermuda forms part of the famous Bermuda Triangle, where numerous planes and ships have gone missing over the years. We thought it would be fun to do something around this, so wanted to visit the Institute, which looks at this, as well as the island itself and ocean exploration. It looks fascinating, something we'd have all enjoyed and a great family attraction. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be this time, but we'd love to check this out if we ever get the chance to return. Looking further afield at some of the other attractions and things to do on the island, you've got the famous Swizzle Inn. This is home to the national drink, the rum swizzle, and it's somewhere a lot of people recommended to us before we visited. It was a little far out for us this time, with it being towards the east end of the island, but it seems to be almost a must-do if you have a little bit more time. It also sits right by the Crystal and Fantasy Caves, another good option, so it'd be easy to do the two together. Other things to do include the Bermuda Aquarium, Museum and Zoo, and the historic town of St George, which sits at the far east of the island near to the airport. Then of course you've got loads of other beaches to enjoy besides Horseshoe Bay. Outside of exploring the island yourself, there are lots of other excursions and things you can do while docked in Bermuda. Of course, Disney themselves offer a wide range of excursions. A lot of the attractions I've mentioned can be accessed through an organised excursion. Plus Disney offers several different day cruises, snorkelling and a glass-bottom boat cruise. They're all listed on the Disney Cruise Line website. Or alternatively, if you want to book an excursion yourself, our favourite operator is Viator.com, where we often book our excursions from when we're travelling. We've included a link below in the comments. One point to note though, it's always worth remembering that cruise ships won't wait for you if you're late back to the port. Therefore, if you're planning to venture a little further on your own, make sure you're back in plenty of time to make that all important all aboard time. So hopefully that's given you a pretty good overview of Bermuda and how to make the most out of your day. That also wraps up our vlogs covering our New York trip and our Halloween on the High Seas cruise. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel though, as we've got loads more vlogs coming this year, covering more cruises and trips to Europe and Canada, including our Alaskan cruise with Disney Cruise Line later this summer. In the meantime, if you've got any questions or any other tips, then please let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching.